After this.
Slow, huh?
We're back at Wayne State Stadium.
Seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30?
Have it. No.
And 2 in Wayne State territory. The give is to Kimball, and he gets a first down. It's fumbled, but picked up by a Butler player.
Boy, when things go right for a team, everything goes right in one direction right now. Do a good job. Put some helmets on Kimball. He coughs it up. Let's take it. We're going to have a good angle of it right now, folks, because Kimball's going to come right into your living room right here. We're going to see who's going to put the hit right on it. The ball gets hit, knocked out. Ball gets hit, goes over, and look at this.
Big Todd Schaefer, the center, right at the right place at the right time. He picks it up. It's first and goal now for Butler. Ball is at the 9-yard line of Wayne State, and once again the Bulldogs are knocking on the door.
Ooh. Pretty thick in there once again.
Handoff goes to Richard Johnson, the fullback. Eric Ruth led the charge of Wayne State tacklers.
Wayne State has been absolutely excellent inside the 10 defending today.
Third quarter score, Michigan Tech 33, Minnesota Duluth 12.
Second and goal for the Bulldogs. Ball is at the 8-yard line of Wayne State.
Jason Stahl used his play action too to hit Johnson in the flat earlier in the game. Let's see if he goes back to that.
False in motion. Goes right to pitch, left to Kimball. He takes the left side, tries to spin inside, spins into the arms of Tom Beer, and brought down at about the 3-yard line.
Let's take a look at this right now. A little pitch left. Johnson has to kick out block right here, the fullback. What happens is Wayne State once again, great pursuit here, comes over, does a nice spin move right here, doesn't help though. Tom Beer, once again, that number 33.
Skip, I'm surprised with his speed that Kimball didn't just take that outside, go for the corner.
Exactly.
Apparently he saw something we didn't see, so it's third and goal, Butler. Ball at the Wayne State 3. Stalled back, looks right for the pass. He hits Johnson. Nope, he hits John Hill. And it's a touchdown, Butler. John Hill catches the ball in front of Rashawn Hardy. A 3-yard touchdown pass for the Butler Bulldogs.
Well, what I don't understand here is the defender is back. He's playing off the ball too much. He's playing way back. He just beats him right to the corner. He's just running the flat right now. They tried, it's a pick play, but they didn't execute a pick play well, and he just beats him right to the flat. Nothing fancy about that.
Excellent pass thrown in there by Jason Stahl. John Hill catches it, and it is 23-6 now. Tim Whitmer trying to make it 24-6. Snap, hold, kick. It is good. The score is 24-6. Butler over Wayne State. The Bulldogs ruining the homecoming for the Tartars. We'll be back with more Wayne State football after this message.
Slamming. Jamming. Fancy passing. Thrills.
on the field too long. They're starting to bend and they're absolutely about to break. The offense is going to have to amount some type of first downs to keep this defense on the sideline. Coming back from an 18-point deficit in a little under the quarter is going to be real tough for the Wayne State offense. But if they're going to do it, they have to start right away. Back up to you, Cliff.
Well, the kickoff comes from Butler. It is taken deep by Randono Johnson. He takes it up the middle, gets a little running room before he's hit by Don DeCrane. The scoring drive for Butler on the last series, 15 plays, 71 yards, and a 3-down touchdown reception by John Hill.
And they did use 6 minutes and 48 seconds off the clock.
That's a long time to keep your defense out there.
Yeah, that's a good drive.
29-yard return by Johnson. 1st and 10. Wayne State ball is at the Tartar 33. Friday back to pass, and he does not get it off. He is sacked almost as soon as he gets back there by big Elgin Reese, the Butler defensive end. After 3 quarters, you can see in the big one there, Butler with 321 yards, Skip.
Unbelievable. Once again, Wayne is at 164. We mentioned prior to the game, they're only giving up 248 yards per game, so they're well under that. They have a quarter to go, though. The penalties, once again, 6 penalties for 45 yards, some at critical times. The problem that Wayne State has right now, folks, is going into a pretty stiff win. They're down 3 touchdowns anyhow to come back into this football game, and very unlikely when the offense and the passing game has been suspect the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, after the big loss there, Goff, the ball carrier, tackled by Vermillion. Of course, this is the major game of the day. If you're interested in the minor game, the score is Michigan 7, Michigan State 0, but we can deal with that later. Friday, back to pass. He looks, has some time, and oh my goodness, he's hit hard.
And this is Butler's ball. This is a fumble, folks. Yes.
They're going to rule that Friday fumble when he was hit, and the ball is recovered by Don Manjot of Butler, Manjo, and it's 1st and 10 Butler. Deep in Wayne State territory, ball at the Tartar 29.
Well, they can thank the defensive backfield of the Butler Bulldogs right now for this to occur. Friday gets plenty of time, folks. You can start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can't ask the offensive line to do any more. The ball comes out right there. They stop play. He says, let me pick this thing up. Let me see if this thing is still alive here. Butler ball.
Well, Manjo and Kyle Oakes made that happen. 1st and 10 Butler. We have a new quarterback in the game. The handoff is to Kimball. The marker is down after Kimball gains several yards, tackled by Tom Beer.
We got a face mask right now, so we're going to add additional to this carry right now. So when it rains, it pours. And there's the face mask call right there, folks.
Well, number 8, Andrew Cornell, is the quarterback who has come into the game for Butler. Bulldogs coach opting to let his second-string quarterback get some time in what is almost a certain victory here.
Well, here's the counter once again. Look at that face mask call right there. It was right there. Good call. Lo and behold, they're going to get this young man a touchdown today, Clifford.
It's another look at it from a different angle.
Coach Ken LaRose, he's going to get Mr. Kimball a touchdown before it's all over.
1st and goal at 9, and Kimball gets the ball, gets by one man, hit by Worthy. Still picks up some yardage.
Kimball down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Kimball says, I've carried this ball around 23, 24 times here. I've taken a lot of hits. Can I get a touchdown?
So young Andrew Cornell, the quarterback for Butler, picking up where Jason Stahl left off. Give the ball to Kimball and get out of the way. Cornell only a sophomore, so they're preparing him to take over the reins once Stahl graduates and then goes on to different things. Whoa! Fumble picked up by Bernard Evans. Wayne State returns the favor, forces a fumble, and recovers. Bernard Edwards does it, and Wayne State gets the ball back with 10 30 left in the fourth quarter. We'll be back with more Wayne State football after this message. In their own territory, Skip. 1st and 10 at the 12.
And into a very brisk wind.
Friday back, rolls right, looks left, and he does have a quick pass to Richard Hall, and it's enough for the first down.
And let's take a look how they recover this right now. This is a fade pattern, what they call that. Great. It's a blitz coming from the weak side. The recovery for Wayne State. And let's take a look at the pass right now from Friday. Good play action. I don't know who he's faking right now. Down 20-something points. But here it goes right here. Throws a good spiral right here. Good catch. A little upset with himself. He didn't keep his footing.
Friday fakes the handoff to Joe Goff and completes a pass to Kevin Whitfield.
Friday's been taking some shots back here, folks. Getting up slow. In the past, he's had some knee problems and some ankle problems, some leg problems, I should say. Very thick. He's got very thick legs, Cliff.
And apparently his offensive line very thin. Big guy, though. Mark Friday, he's taking a few shots. He's still in there. He was hurt earlier in the year and missed a couple of starts. He's back and looks pretty good today. Quick handoff to Joe Goff to the middle of the line, and he's met there by a host of Butler tacklers led by Kyle Oakes.
You know something? I think Brian's doing a good job, Coach Van Gorder, not trying to throw the ball up and maybe create more havoc, Cliff, by turnovers, throwing into crowds and what have you. He's going to let the offense work itself into a rhythm, try to establish something, work for the next game.
This team really does not have the mark of Brian Van Gorder on it yet. A lot of young players. He has some recruiting classes to go through, and oh my goodness. Very quick pass out there to Randono Johnson, who looks to be open. Don DeCrane out there, but the pass just overthrown.
Well, Friday's thrown into a win right now, and the ball sometimes will take off on you. And he's a little upset with himself, as you can see, coming off the field.
Had that ball stayed down, that could have been 6, certainly enough yardage for a first down. Instead, Eric Burton goes back to punt for the Charters. And once again, Eric Voss deep for Butler to receive the punt. Burton with 4 punts so far, average of over 38 yards, almost 39, and gets off a pretty high one this time. Fair catch called for and taken by Voss. 32-yard punt by Eric Burton. 9:08 left in the fourth quarter, and we will be back with more Wayne State football after this message.
Be there, but he's telling his offense you have to give Friday a little more time. He's getting hit a great deal after he lets the ball go, but they're going to obviously go for that pass a lot more here in the second half. I mean, the last quarter, with only a couple of minutes left in the game.
That's Stanley Edwards on the sideline talking to Coach Brian Van Gorder. The ball is in the hands of the Butler Bulldogs now. Eric Ruth just made a nice tackle for the Charters. It is 2nd down and 12 with the ball at the 33, let's say, of the Bulldogs. Once again, the sophomore quarterback in the game, Andrew Cornell, and once again he is blitzed and sacked by Kevin Worthy of the Charters.
You know, I don't like this. If they're the coach, they should just be handing the ball off. They got a nice lead. They should try to occupy the clock and get out of town and go home with a W. But no, he's play action, faking. He's trying to get the ball downfield. I know you want to get some reps with the quarterback, but this stuff comes back to haunt you.
Kevin Worthy made a nice play there. That's at least 2 sacks this game for him.
He's played well.
3rd and 17. The marker is thrown down as Cornell goes back, slips and falls, and is rained under by players from both teams. Joe Goloszewski led the charge for the Charters.
This play might be illegal procedure. This might be a dead ball foul that, yeah, this play might be done over again. They might not have an option to decline it. No, they do. They do decline it.
It is declined, and so the conference's leading punt returner, Eddie Herbert, is on the field for Wayne State. Coming into this game, he was averaging 11.7 on the return, and boy, if you look at the total yards for this game, Skip, really lopsided.
What was it, 315, 184? Low kick that time.
Ron White gets a punt that's low, but takes a bounce.
This is a smart play here. This is a very smart play. He doesn't know if it hit Ebby or not. He says, let me run it in. Let's see what happens. They can always bring it back.
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. A very, very smart play that time.
And a 59-yard punt that didn't look pretty at all, but a lot of yardage for Ron White. So it is 1st and 10, Wayne State. And the ball is at the Tartar 22. They have 7 minutes and 22 seconds in the fourth quarter to make something happen.
Just a drive, Cliff, to get some points on the board so you go into next week with your head up and a positive way to go into practice all week.
I'm told by Rich Thompson, the sports information director here at Wayne State, that a number of Tartar players actually left the team for one reason or another after Brian Van Gorder got here. Yeah. So he really is building a team. It's like a new team that hopefully can take this year and some of the losses and build on it. Quarterback Friday rolls right, looks, and throws a pass that is caught by his tight end, but he slips and falls, doesn't get much yards on it. Actually, Joe Goff catches that out of the backfield.
If I had also a shot here, let's take a look at Friday though right now. He comes out on a roll, naked bootleg. Joe has some trouble keeping his foot. It's very slippery down there on that hash mark to the sideline.
Actually, he made a good effort to come back and catch that ball.
Exactly.
Reverse coming to Rondono Johnson. He gains a few yards and doesn't go too far. Cameron McDaniel, the first one to chase him toward the sideline.
And Greg Lyons wants to finish him off. Greg says, let me get a piece of this. You're still in bounds.
Exactly.
You know, I was talking with Rich Thompson also, Cliff, and, talking that, let's take a look at the replay here. Very slow developing reverse, though. Good block here to secure the corner. But let's go. We're running out of real estate here. Little head fake.
McDaniel served him up, and
boom.
Lions tried to have him for dinner. 3rd and 2 yards to go. Friday rolls left this time. Lets it fly. Oh, it hits the hands.
That ball should have been caught.
Of Rondono Johnson. Flies out.
For Rondono Johnson was incomplete.
4th and 2.5.
Now, do you go for it here?
No.
Punt it away.
Punt it away. Obviously, I'm wrong. That's why I'm up in the booth.
I guess at this point, Coach Brian Van Gorder feels it's more important to get the reps in there and go for it. See what his team is made of. 4th and 2. All the receivers are wide left. Friday takes the snap and hands the ball off to Joe Goff, who makes the first down yardage.
Inside draw. Nice play set up. They were looking at trips left. Everybody thought that Friday's going to reverse out and come action to the left side of the field and come back with Joe on a counter. This is a nice call. Good blocking up front, though. That makes it happen. As always.
Greg Lyons and Sean Bays on the tackle. A lot of new faces and new jersey numbers on the field.
Joe's got himself 86 yards on 23 carries. He needs 14 more naturally to hit the century mark, and he's going to try to do that before this is over.
Friday pass is complete to Whitfield. Again, enough yardage again for a first down. Tackled by Don DeCrane.
First down.
And this is what Brian Van Gorder was talking to Stanley about prior to the start of the second half. He's going to roll back and come back. He feels he can go back against the grain, that the zone is coming all to one side. It's a little soft coming back.
Ball is at the Tartar 47, 1st and 10. Friday fakes the hand. Oh, my goodness. He hits the hands of Whitfield coming out to backfield. There was no one in front of him, but couldn't keep his hands on it.
2nd and 10 from the 47.
That'll make it second down and 10. Clock is tipped down to 5 minutes and 46 seconds. Friday now 12 completions out of 21 attempts, 113 yards with no touchdown passes, and he's thrown for 1 interception. Back, being chased back in the pocket, hit by several people.
Ball's loose.
The ball's loose. They're going to say that it was a fumble, and it was recovered by Dave Kaufman of Butler. And boy, another bad break for the Charters. Well, with that, we will go to another break. The score, Butler 24, Wayne State 6. Back with more Charter football after this message.
The ball. He's been doing this for a good part of his career. He's the leading tackler on this team. He's on a blitz right now. Does a good job. Very heady ball player.
So Butler gets the ball once again, first and 10. Ball at the Charter 39. And the pitch goes back to a new face in this game, Joe DeJager.
Joe DeJager, the ball carrier on the play.
He does make a gain of about 4 yards on the play.
And there's number 13, Kevin Worthy. He's played a very inspired football game today. You can see the dejected looks on some of the Tartars' face.
Well, Skip, the Charter Gridiron Club greatly appreciates the support given by the folks at Bill Brown Ford for supporting Wayne State football. And a big thank you to Bill Brown Ford and all those fine folks. Once again, Joe DeJager, the ball carrier.
Joe DeJager is keeping both arms on that football. He knows it's very thick in that tackle to tackle area right now. He certainly doesn't want anybody to strip the football from him, so he puts 2 arms around it and puts Butler in a situation where it's 3rd and 4.
Tom Beer with yet another tackle for the Charters today. He's had a very busy day.
He must have 108 by now. I'll tell you what, you've been calling his name all afternoon. Really a good football player.
3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Quarterback Cornwell is back, looks right, lets it fly.
Ooh, this is a nice catch.
Nice catch by John Hill, short of the first down. He gets one hand on it and is able to pull it in, but it's short of a first down.
You know, Cliff, talking about it like a Tom Beer, this is what this is all about, and this is what we've tried to do for the last 3 or 4 years down here at Wayne, to give the opportunity for some of these kids to continue to play football and have an opportunity to get a good education, and that's what Wayne State's providing now.
Excellent point to make. We have a replay here as we see the nice catch by John Hill, but
one-handed and keeps his hands on the ball, brings it in with that left hand, makes a good grab.
4th down, they're going for it. As you mentioned, Skip, I had a chance to play, and we have a flag on the play. I had a chance to play some basketball for the Charters, and really an excellent opportunity to participate in college athletics, but also take part in an excellent academic atmosphere, and Wayne State is providing that.
They sure are. And, they got the program on the right in the right direction, and it was started by a couple of people. George Blaha has been absolutely, as you know, who's now doing Michigan State football on radio that I had the pleasure of working with for many years, but he's put so much effort into this program, and not just to mention him, but there's a number of other people to mention, Glatz and on and on.
Bob Glotzover, who I had the pleasure of meeting recently, another one who has worked tirelessly for this Charter program. Well, they lose some yards on the penalty, but they're still going for it. 4th and long. A nice fake by the sophomore quarterback. He lets it go deep in the end zone, and it is complete to Steve Austin. A touchdown pass for the Butler Bulldogs, and my goodness, what an exciting play for Butler. And
well, I'll tell you what, they throw it up. Make a good catch. There's man coverage down here, but this is like throwing a little salt in the wound here. 4th and something, they don't kick it. Good fake. The young man's going to have something to talk about on the ride home.
Well, Tony Hawk was back there deep for the Charters, and you figured he'd at least break up the play. It goes right over his head. Well thrown ball, and Steve Austin, right place, right time, and he hauls it in for yet another Butler touchdown.
Stunt thing, get your ass outside.
Well, the people on the salt box had it right. When it rains, it does pour.
It sure does. And yeah, it was a misgiving of me not to mention Glatzover because Bobby's the one that signs the checks for us.
Yeah.
No, but there's been a lot of people, and really it's been nice to be a part of this, and I'm happy he's continuing on, and hopefully he's going to continue on for many years in the future, Cliff, because as you've been part of this program also for many years, you can see the different athlete coming in year by year by year, regardless of the head coach. You're all doing very hard, great work of recruiting and hard work to make this whole thing happen. So I'm very happy about it.
Should mention Brian Van Gorder too, and I mentioned earlier I had a chance to know him when I was playing ball here. He was a football player, very intense, very dedicated person, and it's good to see not only someone of that caliber come in and be the head coach here, but somebody who's dedicated to the program, someone who is going to put academics first, but also bring in a top-notch program. And we wish all the success in the world to Coach Brian Van Gorder here at Wayne State.
Absolutely.
Well, once again, Tim Whitmer attempts the extra point for Butler. Snap, hold, kick, up, and good. 31 for Butler, 6 for Wayne State, 3:03 left in the fourth quarter. These two coaches, both first-year head coaches, they're thinking to the future already.
Oh, absolutely. There's no sense in getting somebody hurt in this type of situation, and when you're tired and you've been on the field for an extended period, that's when you're susceptible to injury.
Kickoff comes once again from Ron White, taken by Randono Johnson at the goal line. Comes back, cuts left, goes right, sees some running room, darts through, still not down, gets past the 30-yard line until he's finally wrestled out of bounds. A 34-yard return. Finally, Don DeCrane gets him out of bounds, along with the kicker, Ron White.
We have number 12, Anthony Frederick now. It's mostly an option type of a quarterback, but he's in there giving Friday a little. And here is the replay right now. Does a good job picking holes and making things happen right now, keeping his balance, switches the ball. Had enough sense to switch the ball away from the defenders. Good job.
Anthony Frederick, the Charter quarterback, takes it, rolls left, pitches the ball back to the running back, who fumbles and is able to recover it.
Referee does a nice job of calling this ball down before this gets out of hand here.
Dustin Cunningham received the pitch, bobbled it, fumbled it, but grabbed it. He lost some yards on the play, though. A Butler defender right there to meet him.
Well, this is the time right now. Get some snaps in. Let Frederick run the option a couple times. Keep the clock going, and let's talk about next week's game.
In fact, our excellent statistician Barry just told me that there was no gain on the play. Second down and 10. Ball is at the Charter 33.
Larry Smades, the golden one.
Fumbled on the snap. Anthony Frederick goes down to recover it.
Anthony Frederick recovers his own fumble.
So another mishap and unfortunate break for the Tartars. Again, no gain on the play. Third down and 10. Clock has ticked down to 1:35 here at Wayne State Stadium. Anthony Frederick rolling right. Fourth quarter, and he just takes it right on out of bounds. Gets a little bit of help from Rick Hunt, a defensive tackle for Butler. And he gets slung out of bounds. He gained only 2 yards on the play. It'll be fourth down and 8. And this time, Eric Burton, the punter for Wayne State, comes onto the field.
He's been a busy young man today.
He really has. Wayne State's offense has not been able to sustain much except for that one very impressive drive. Eric Voss, deep to receive the punt. He's had a lot of work today, too.
Yes, he has.
A wobbly kick that goes high for Burton and takes a Wayne State bounce. Comes to rest at the 28-yard line of Butler, where it's down. A 37-yard punt by Eric Burton. First and 10. Handoff goes to yet another new face, Joe Huber, and he gains substantial yardage over the right side. Enough for a first down. So it seems that the talent goes deep for the Butler Bulldogs.
Yes, it does.
Ball is at the 41, first and 10 for Butler. Less than a minute in the game now. Handoff is to Huber once again. He's hitting the backfield but falls forward for some yardage. Tackled by Tom Ledbetter. Stanley Edwards is on the sideline. And Stanley, your thoughts and observations about this game?
Well, Skip, you were exactly right. The 31 points is not indicative of how the Wayne State defense has played. They were on the field too long. They made some big plays. Other than some crucial third down plays, they played very well today. The offense didn't give them any help. They didn't get enough first downs. They didn't move the ball the way they should have. And therefore, the defense was on the field a little bit too long, and they finally broke and they gave up 31 points, but they played well. Well, they have to put this game behind them and get ready for next week. Back up to you, Skip.
Expert analysis by Stanley Edwards on the sideline.
For another short gain.
Another short gain by Huber. The clock is running down. And that's going to be it. 3, 2, 1. And that's it. The final score at Wayne State Stadium here is the Butler Bulldogs 31, the Wayne State Tartars 6. We'll be back with a wrap-up after this message.
Okay. Okay, Coach, the score was 31, Butler, 6, Wayne State Tartars. Coach, your assessment of the game?
They're a very much improved ball team. They came out and gave us some trouble here early, and we made some adjustments at halftime, but we had to struggle to get where we're at today, and they're a much improved ball club.
You had a good running attack early. Was that your thought to come in here and see if you can pound it out?
Yeah, that's our brand of football. We're going to run the ball first, and I told the guys before the game that we're going to run it, and then pass it when we have to, and then run it some more. But we're a running team, and there's no surprise there, no disguising that. And we have to establish our running attack, and we do have Kevin Kimball, who ran very hard today, and also Richard Johnson, who got a chance to run a little bit today.
Exactly. Where do you go from here, Coach? Now you are up to, I believe, 4-1 in the conference, and what do you look to head next week?
We've got Valparaiso at home, and they're a team that I know that gave you guys fits, and they're a team that we've got to be ready for, and we can't have any letdowns. But they're the first of the next 5 to go, and our second half of the season comes up here next week, and we've got to be ready to beat the Crusaders next week. And it's been a big rivalry for us, and they're going to be fired up and jacked up coming down to our place, but we've got to be ready for them.
Okay, thank you very much. Coach Van Gorder has a young team, and they knew they were going to have a tough time coming in here with you. So good luck next week, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, right now we're going over to Skip and Cliff for a post-game summary.
Well, again, the score was 31 for the Butler Bulldogs, 6 for the Wayne State Tartars. Not a very happy homecoming, Skip, and Wayne State has a lot to work on now.
Yeah, they do, and they had some problems, as we did know, the last 3 or 4 games, Clifford, with their offense, and that still is a problem. Defense didn't play that bad. I know you take a look and you say, well, how can they play well when they've given up this many points? Well, it's not an indication of how the defense played. The offense only had 1 drive, as we talked about earlier. They have to keep the defense off the field. The defense was on the field most of the game.
In addition to scoring more points, are there certain elements the offense needs to be successful? Better running or what?
Yeah, they have to control the ball, and they should do that by I think by passing the ball a little bit more. I think they should have Friday throw the ball more and then come back. More or less have the pass set up the run rather than run set up the pass.
Well, not a very happy homecoming for the Wayne State Tartars, and a loss 31-6 to the Butler Bulldogs. We'll be back with more post-game discussion after this message. on the season. Butler increases this record to 4-1. Hello, everybody. I'm Cliff Russell. I did play-by-play on the game along with Skip Mackles and Stanley Edwardson. Skip, the Tartars have a lot of things to work on after this game.
Yes, they do. And once again, they have to go to that offensive side of the ball. Stanley and I have talked about it throughout the course of the game. Really just no sustained drives.